Welcome to another episode of Bargain Bin Saturdays. I suppose it's finally time to talk about Highlander, The Source. A film of such low quality my DVD player and my computer refused to play it. Thankfully though, my PS2 is a total slut and was willing to play it just fine. In fact, Highlander The Source is so bad, it makes Highlander 2 The Quickening look good in comparison. And that's a heck of an accomplishment, because let's face it, Highlander 2 The Quickening introduced the idea that the Highlander and all other immortals were aliens from the planet Zeist. And if they were reborn on Earth, they became immortal because reasons. We don't really get into technicalities of it. It's just, alien biology. It's so crazy. If it interacts with Earth's atmosphere, immortality for some reason, okay? Unless you get decapitated. In fact, Highlander The Source is so bad, it makes this look good. Highlander, The Last McClouds, for Jaguar CD. The console so bad almost no one owned it. And yes, that is Ramirez on the front, if you're curious. And that's Quentin MacLeod from the cartoon series. Because there's a Highlander cartoon as well. Why was there a Highlander cartoon? I don't know, there just was. But moving on, Highlander The Source is just unbelievably awful if you try and think about the plot. Like, it's so bad. It's amazing in its badness. Like it's just jaw-droppingly bad. Like, let's take The Prize, for instance. Instead of being, all knowledge and the ability to truly connect with the hearts of all men and thus read their minds and whatnots, if you're pure of heart, you get to have a baby. Yep, that's the prize. You don't even have to be the last immortals to get that either. You just have to be pure of heart. If you're pure of heart, like Duncan MacLeod supposedly as being, very moral and, very honorable, you can lay claim to the source, and then get the prize by default, and just get to have a baby as, the source's gift to the world, because, being the baby of an immortal that can't have kids makes a lot of sense. But then again, this movie also includes, a scene where the Guardian fights another immortal on holy ground for no real reason. I mean, there's no reason for the Guardian. A character with super speed and therefore, can move like the Flash. I mean, obviously not that fast. He can't compete with the Flash or anything, but a speedster attacks someone on holy ground for no reason. Like, if you can move like lightning, why not wait for them when there's somewhere else to attack them? Why do you have to break the rule about fighting on holy ground for no real reason at all? Like, I know they break it in Highlander Endgame, and they had to go back and retcon the series in order to satisfy the fans over that one by saying it was, not on holy ground, but just near it. Because the fans get so upset when you break that rule, and I agree. I'm like, if you establish this rule, or a tradition for the immortals, that it's so sacred they would never think to break it. Not even the Kurgan, a man who told Connor MacLeod, of all people, we cannot fight in this church because it's holy ground, after telling him, oh, by the way, I raped your wife after I murdered your best friend before his blood was even cold. Ha ha ha, Connor. What you gonna do about it? You gonna take my head? Even he wouldn't fight on holy ground, and even corrected Connor about when he went to go grab him by the scruff of his neck and pull him up to punch him in the face. He's like, can't fight me now. Ha 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 ha. I'm safe on holy ground. Or you're safe from me, at least. Because let's face it, you don't stand a chance. I'm just trying to piss you off. Even he wouldn't break that rule. Yet, Jacob Kell, the Guardian, because he doesn't get a name, he's just the Guardian, just casually break that rule for no reason. Why? It's a very long-held sacred tradition, and you're just going to casually break it. Heck, I think in the TV show they mentioned that two immortals fought on holy ground, it caused the volcano to erupt and probably killed both of them. Apparently the gods get very displeased when immortals fight on holy ground, yet it just gets casually ignored, in the movie continuities because reasons. They also decided to retcon, Duncan's wife from the Endgame out of existence and give him a new wife who's not immortal, and who leaves Duncan on the grounds, I want to have a baby, and I can't be with you in order to do that, so I'm leaving. Like really? Seems pretty shallow of her, to be honest. I mean, have you ever heard of adoption? How about getting a sperm donor from someone else, that looks something like Duncan, and getting a baby that way? I'm just saying there's options, you don't have to be like, if it's not from you, I can't be with you. Like, it's just mind-boggling to me. We also have Duncan's iconic sword broken in this film. He replaces it with combat knives. Because why not, I guess. Let's spin on everything Highlander related that's been established up to this point. And then just, take a dump on the ashes. It's just, why? But the only way you can enjoy this film is to laugh at the special effects, because they are awful. Like, these are some of the worst special effects I've ever seen, even in a direct-to-video film. I mean, maybe if I watch Mega Shark Giant Octopus, it's like on that level, okay? Or Mega Piranha, or Beneath Loch Ness. It's just unbelievably fake looking, and you're like, why did they bother with this? I guess they figured giving the Guardian super speed, it'd make him stand a chance, because we've already established that Duncan can beat opponents stronger than him, and arguably more skilled than him, older than him. Like, he's run the gambit of all those. So, why not give the Guardian a superpower, super speed? But the effect looks awful when he executes it. Just awful. There's also other questions I have, like, why does the source make you mortal as you get closer to it? But if you're really, 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 really close to it, it gives you super speed? Yeah. If you're not within the butter zone, of how close it wants you to be, it doesn't give you any powers and makes you mortal. So you lose all your immortal powers. You don't get healing you don't get healed after a while. So if you die, it's just game over all of a sudden for no real reason. But if you're far enough away outside of that zone, you're immortal, and you get warned when another immortal is close. Like, how does this work? Like, really? Like, how close do you have to be to lose your powers? And why would being closer to the source of immortality take away your immortality? Wouldn't it make your powers stronger? Like, when you get super close to it? It's just, those questions just burn in your mind when you watch the film. Like, how did they manage to screw this up so badly? Like, what's just wrong with having an iconic bad guy villain slash villain immortal that, has some history or feud with the main character? Like, I know it'd be cliche after a while, and it does get old, but at least if it was treading the same ground, it would be more bearable than, trying to be original by destroying everything else that's ever come before it and retconning all of it out of existence for no reason other than, I want to do it my own way, even if it pisses off the fans, and completely undermines the series, making this film feel like it isn't even attached to it in any meaningful way. It's no wonder that no one in this film acts or does anything that makes it look like they care besides, just reading their lines. It's like, I'm there to get a paycheck and leave. It's also odd to note that as the films have gotten shorter, it seems the length I can talk about them has gotten longer and longer and longer. As if the shorter the movie gets, the more they just seem to completely wreck continuity for the sake of it. And I don't know why. I don't even want to talk about the Elder in this film, who was cursed by the source, really, because he looks unbelievably awful as well. Because apparently, if the source doesn't like you, it turns you into a hideous monster. Because reasons, like, oh, you have impure intentions, so zap! Oh, your best friend defeated my previous guardian? Well, zap, he can take his place. But, if you defeat the guardian but don't take his head, then I can't do anything to you. You're obviously pure of heart. Like what? And the final fight with the Guardian between Duncan and the super speed, it's just awful looking. And the fact that Guardian's ultimately defeated by being forced to spin around like a drill until he drills himself in the ground and is unable to move is also unbelievably dumb. Of course, after they beat the Guardian and Duncan's like, who I am is who I was, or whatever he said, they then do a trailer type cut in the middle of the film all of a sudden and explain everything that happened previously and what the prize is. And you're like, this is so out of left field and so disjointing. I almost thought the film had started up from the beginning all over again. Just give this one a pass. Even if you're just looking for a bad film to laugh at the bad special effects, maybe it's tolerable, but you cannot watch this one for story at all, even with your brain turned off, because it'll try to kick your brain back into high gear, just trying to figure out all of its bullshit. So next time, then. See ya.